that this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it. Well, either way, if you got to run to a private island because your evil doings are doing so much and they storming your house, it's one of these.
Picture this. The entertainment world is on fire, and it all revolves around two of the biggest names in music, Drake and Diddy. And just when you thought their past drama was ancient history, a bombshell drops that changes everything. Leaked tapes, and FBI investigation, and yes, Drake fleeing the country. You can't make this stuff up, right? But here we are watching one of the most jaw-dropping celebrity scandals unfold in real time. So what's really going on? Why has Drake, one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop, suddenly gone off the grid, leaving fans and the media in complete shock?
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Let's dive into the chaos surrounding these leaked tapes that have been stirring up endless speculation. Drake, known for keeping his cool in the midst of drama, has made a stunning move. He's disappeared. But not just your average vacation type disappearing act. He's reportedly left the country, and this isn't some random spur-of-the-moment trip. Word on the street is that it's a calculated exit timed perfectly with the release of these mysterious tapes that have the FBI on the case. What could be so damning that it's got Drake running for the hills?
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine. But in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from. I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail.
The tapes, which are at the center of the scandal, are rumored to contain some very incriminating material. Stuff that could not only ruin reputations, but could send shockwaves through the entire music industry. Although the full content of the tapes hasn't been made public yet, just the whispers about them have everyone from industry insiders to fans scrambling for answers. And now, Drake's sudden vanishing act is fueling the fire. Why would someone as powerful and influential as Drake, with a seemingly bulletproof career, feel the need to flee the country? Is this a sign of guilt, or is he just trying to stay one step ahead of a potential media frenzy that could blow up any second?
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
Let's not forget, the FBI has confirmed the existence of these tapes, which makes this more than just a celebrity gossip story. This is celebrity gossip story. This is serious. When the FBI gets involved, you know there's some real weight to these allegations. And with Drake's departure coming so close to the release of these tapes, it's hard to believe this is just a coincidence. Many are saying that this move is Drake trying to get ahead of what could be a career-ending scandal. But what's in his tapes that's causing so much panic?
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
The rumor mill is working overtime, and while nothing has been officially confirmed, there's speculation that these tapes reveal more than just personal beef between Drake and Diddy. Could they show business deals that cross the line? Or perhaps power plays that have been hidden behind the glitz and glam of the music industry? The tension between Drake and Diddy isn't exactly news. These two have had a rocky relationship for years, with one of the most publicized incidents being their infamous altercation back in 2014. For those who might need a refresher, let's rewind to 2014. Drake and Diddy got into it over the beat for Drake's track 0 to 100. Now, this wasn't just a small misunderstanding. It led to a full-on physical confrontation. The story goes that the beat was originally supposed to be Diddy's, but Drake ended up releasing the track without Diddy's blessing. Diddy, feeling disrespected, confronted Drake at a Miami nightclub, and things escalated quickly. According to multiple sources, Diddy didn't just stop at words. He reportedly got physical, smacking Drake and telling him, "You'll never disrespect me again." That confrontation left Drake with a dislocated shoulder and an ego that needed some serious mending.
Now, that shooting has certainly turned a spotlight on that feud. The two rappers have been engaged in a lyrical battle in recent weeks, and that heated up this past weekend.
Fast forward to today, and suddenly, this old beef is getting dragged back into the spotlight. Fans are re-examining this 2014 altercation, wondering if it's just the tip of the iceberg. Was this fight over a beat, or was there something deeper going on between these two music titans? And now, with the tapes coming into play, many believe we're about to get answers to questions we didn't even know we had. As if things weren't already intense enough, sources close to the situation are saying that the tapes don't just expose Drake and Diddy's beef. They could involve other high-profile names in the music industry. Think about it. If the FBI is involved, this isn't just about two artists clashing. it could be much bigger than that. We're talking about potential legal implications, connections to other power players in the industry, and a scandal that could reach the upper echelons of music and business.
Next, is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
But let's not forget Diddy in all of this. While the spotlight is currently on Drake and his unexpected exit, Diddy is sitting quietly in the background, which, let's be real, is completely out of character for someone who's built his career on being larger than life. Diddy, the man known for throwing the biggest parties and living life in the public eye, is suspiciously silent. No statements, no denials, no attempts to clear the air. Could this silence be because he's guilty of something, or is Diddy playing it smart, letting Drake's actions speak louder than any words could?
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his home.
Diddy's past also comes into play here. He's no stranger to controversy, and his reputation in the industry has always had a certain edge to it. While his achievements as a businessman, producer, and artist are undeniable, there's always been an undercurrent of whispers about what really goes on behind the scenes. From his early days in the industry building Bad Boy Records into a powerhouse, to his various ventures outside of music, Diddy has always had a sense of mystery about him. Now, with these tapes potentially bringing that mystery to the surface, the public is left wondering, how much do we really know about Diddy's rise to power?
Problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
And it's not just the tapes and Drake's sudden disappearance that are raising eyebrows. It's the timing of everything. The media is abuzz with speculation that this scandal could have been brewing for a long time, with both Drake and Diddy knowing that this day was coming. Drake's decision to keep a low profile in recent months is now being re-examined. Was he trying to distance himself from Diddy and the potential fallout of these tapes? If so, it seems that distance wasn't enough, as his recent departure has only heightened suspicions.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
Fans, of course, are taking to social media, and the theories are wild. Some believe that Drake's exit is a power move, an attempt to escape before things get too heated. Others think it's a sign that the tapes are about to expose something far worse than we ever imagined. And then there are those who believe that this entire scandal is a setup, a calculated move to bring down 2 of the biggest names in music. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure: everyone is waiting with bated breath to see what happens next. As the narrative unfolds, it's clear that this scandal is more than just celebrity gossip. It's about power, influence, and the lengths people will go to protect their legacy. Both Drake and Diddy are icons in the industry, but this scandal threatens to unravel everything they've built. For Drake, his image as a calculated, strategic artist is now under scrutiny. His decision to flee the country has left many wondering if he's hiding something or simply trying to avoid the inevitable media circus. For Diddy, his reputation as a fearless mogul is now hanging in the balance, as the tapes might reveal a side of him that the public has never seen before.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
What's even more intriguing is how the relationship between Drake and Diddy has evolved over the years. Publicly, they've appeared to move past their 2014 altercation, even being spotted at the same events and exchanging pleasantries. But as these tapes are about to reveal, the surface-level smiles might have been hiding a much deeper conflict. Could their relationship have always been a ticking time bomb, waiting for the right moment to explode? If so, it seems like that moment has finally arrived.
Because once you infiltrate the hive mind, everybody believes it, and then it's substantiated.
Lil Rod's probably about to sue Act 2 then, right?
The stakes couldn't be higher for both artists. Drake, who's been on top of the charts for years, is facing a scandal that could tarnish his carefully crafted image. For Diddy, a man who's been in the game for decades and has managed to stay relevant despite countless challenges, this might be the biggest threat to his empire yet. And with the FBI involved, there's no telling how deep this investigation could go. So what's next for Drake and Diddy? Will these tapes ever be fully released to the public, or will they remain locked away, fueling speculation for years to come? And more importantly, what happens if the contents of these tapes are even more explosive than we've been led to believe? The music industry is no stranger to drama, but this scandal is shaping up to be one for the history books. With Drake out of the country and Diddy's silence growing louder by the day, The tension is palpable. Fans, the media, and even fellow artists are all watching closely, waiting for the next shoe to drop. And as we all know, in the world of celebrity scandals, when it rains, it pours. This scandal isn't just about two artists. It's about the entire music industry and the power dynamics that have shaped it for decades. The tapes, rumored to expose not just personal grievances but also larger systemic issues within the industry, could have ripple effects far beyond Drake and Diddy's careers. Could this be the moment that changes everything we thought we knew about the music business?
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
As the world waits for more details to emerge, one thing is certain. This story is far from over. The leaked tapes, Drake's unexpected departure, and the silence surrounding Diddy have created a perfect storm of intrigue and suspense. And while we don't yet know how this saga will end, one thing's for sure. It's going to be explosive. So, as the mystery surrounding Drake's disappearance intensifies and the leaked tapes hang ominously over Diddy's reputation, we're left with one burning question. What exactly happened between these two hip-hop giants to bring them to this point? While the tapes may be the latest development in an already turbulent relationship, the real drama goes way back, and it's wrapped up in years of rivalry, power struggles, and, according to some insiders, a clash of egos too big to coexist in the same space.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
It's easy to forget, given the current scandal, that Drake and Diddy weren't always at odds. In fact, in the early 2010s, there was a lot of mutual respect between the two. Diddy, already a powerhouse in the industry with Bad Boy Records, was a mentor figure to the younger Drake, who was still carving his place in the rap world. Their relationship seemed friendly at the start, with Drake attending Diddy's events and parties and Diddy making appearances at Drake's shows, but things started to unravel after the infamous incident at Club LIV in Miami in December 2014.
Drake is among a list of rappers potentially appearing as witnesses in the trial of South Florida rapper XXXTentacion.
Now, here's where it all gets interesting. The 2014 altercation is often pinpointed as the moment their relationship took a turn for the worse. The public explanation at the time was that Diddy was upset because Drake had used the beat for 0 to 100 without giving proper credit. But according to several sources, the issue was about much more than just a beat. There were allegations that Diddy felt disrespected by how Drake had gone about it, bypassing him completely and releasing the track on his own terms. Diddy reportedly confronted Drake at the club, and things quickly got physical.
And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
But that was just the beginning. After the confrontation, Drake was taken to the hospital with a shoulder injury, and their public feud began. What many don't realize is that this fight over the beat was symbolic of a deeper issue. Diddy's fear that Drake was not just taking over the charts, but was threatening his legacy as a mogul and gatekeeper of the music industry.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
Fast forward to today, and the leaked tapes have reignited speculation about what really went down between the two over the years. What we do know is that both Drake and Diddy have built empires, but in very different ways. Diddy's rise to power came through business moves, branding himself as more than just a rapper, but as a mogul who excelled in fashion, television, and beyond. Drake, on the other hand, created his own blueprint for success, blending rap with pop, collaborating across genres, and becoming one of the most streamed artists in history. In essence, they were both aiming for the same throne, but taking completely different paths to get there.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
The current scandal has only added fuel to the fire. Some media outlets have reported that the tapes include sensitive conversations, not just about the 0 to 100 fallout, but about other behind-the-scenes power moves that Drake and Diddy have made over the years. One particularly juicy rumor suggests that the tapes contain audio of discussions about record deals, collaborations that never saw the light of day, and even business betrayals involving other major industry figures. What's especially intriguing about these tapes is how they reportedly involve more than just Drake and Diddy. Sources have hinted that other big names in the music world could be dragged into the scandal if the tapes go public. Some are even saying that legal teams from major record labels are already preparing for the potential fallout, as these tapes could expose power dynamics and secret deals that have long been kept under wraps. The tapes reportedly came into the hands of federal authorities during a broader investigation into Diddy's business dealings. According to a report by Rolling Stone, the FBI has been looking into certain high-profile figures in the music industry, including Diddy, for years. The investigation is said to focus on potential misconduct related to financial dealings, business agreements, and even personal conduct that could impact Diddy's various enterprises, including his ownership stake in Revolt TV and his ties to other media ventures.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
One key detail that has come out is that the tapes may also contain footage from some of Diddy's infamous private parties. Diddy has always been known for throwing lavish, over-the-top events, but these parties have also long been surrounded by rumors of secrecy and exclusivity. According to insiders, these events weren't just about celebrating success. They were about networking, cutting deals, and sometimes testing loyalty. Some have even gone so far as to say that Diddy used these parties to see who he could trust and who might be a potential threat to his empire.
I've had clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
But this isn't just about Diddy protecting his business interests. The tension between him and Drake has always been personal, and the power dynamic between them has shifted dramatically over the past decade. Drake has evolved from an artist who looked up to Diddy as a mentor to one who has arguably surpassed him in cultural relevance and influence. Diddy, whose career has spanned 3 decades, is a veteran of the industry, but he's also part of the old guard, a generation of moguls who came up in a very different era of hip-hop. Drake, by contrast, is the face of the streaming era, someone who understands how to reach global audiences in ways that even Diddy couldn't have predicted when he was at his peak.
They're really poets. They're really two people who have the ability to see, listen, and then spit back lyrics that are very intriguing for people.
This generational clash is part of what's driving the current scandal. According to industry insiders, Diddy has always had a hard time accepting that his influence might be waning. And while he's still a powerful figure, there's a sense that he's been trying to hold on to the reins of an industry that's changing faster than he can keep up. Drake, meanwhile, represents that change. He's become the blueprint for modern artists using social media, streaming, and surprise releases to dominate the charts and maintain relevance.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes.
But as the tapes threaten to expose the more unseemly aspects of their rivalry, it's not just Drake and Diddy who are at risk. There's talk that other major players in the industry could be implicated as well. Some have speculated that the tapes might even include conversations about deals involving artists like Jayz, and other figures who have been linked to both Drake and Diddy over the years. If true, the ripple effects of this scandal could be enormous, potentially reshaping the power dynamics of the entire music industry. And then there's the question of why Drake left the country. According to a TMZ report, Drake's sudden departure came just days before the tapes were leaked, leading many to believe that he knew what was coming and wanted to distance himself before the storm hit. One source close to Drake reportedly told the outlet that he was laying low while his legal team prepared for the worst. It's also been suggested that Drake is working on a strategy to separate himself from Diddy altogether, potentially even severing all business ties to avoid being caught up in the legal mess that's sure to follow.
And let me tell you something else. Not only should he have apologized to Cassie in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
Meanwhile, Diddy's silence on the matter is telling. Typically, he's quick to address rumors head-on, but this time, his legal team has advised him to keep quiet. Some insiders have said that Diddy is working behind the scenes to control the narrative, possibly even negotiating with media outlets to keep certain details from being published. However, with the FBI involved and the tapes now in their possession, it's unlikely that this scandal is going to stay under wraps for much longer.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
One interesting twist in all of this is the role of 50 Cent, who has been openly trolling Diddy ever since the rumors about the tapes first surfaced. 50 Cent and Diddy have had their own rivalry over the years, but 50 has been especially vocal about this latest scandal, taking to social media to mock Diddy and suggest that the tapes could ruin him for good. In one post, 50 Cent joked that Diddy's empire was falling apart and that everyone in the industry knows it. But while 50 Cent's comments are entertaining, they also raise an important point. The public perception of Diddy is shifting, and this scandal could be the tipping point. If the tapes reveal that Diddy has been involved in questionable business dealings, or worse, that he's been manipulating those around him to maintain his power, then his reputation as one of hip-hop's most respected moguls could be irreparably damaged. At the same time, Drake is at a crossroads in his career. He's been riding high for years, but this scandal has the potential to derail everything he's worked for. While Drake has managed to navigate controversies in the past, this one feels different. If he's implicated in any of the wrongdoing suggested by the tapes, it could tarnish the image he's built as an artist who's always managed to stay one step ahead of the competition. The real question now is, how will this all play out? Will Drake and Diddy be able to weather the storm, or are they facing the beginning of the end? With the tapes in the hands of federal investigators and the media closing in on every new detail, it seems like it's only a matter of time before the full truth comes out. And when it does, the fallout could be unlike anything the music industry has seen in years.